welcome to our latest edition of 10 Minutes with. I don't know where Kate is. So I guess and she's not going to be in next week's show either. So you're not going to see Kate for a couple weeks, I guess. So I'm going to go solo and we're going to get right into it. We're going to introduce our guest. Our guest is originally from Chicago, but now finds himself living in North Carolina. Please welcome Brian Snow, the host of the Snowman in the Morning Show. Snowman, please welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Let's jump right into it. We had having a Chicago connection. We had quite a lengthy discussion. I probably should have just hit record on that too. That was pretty entertaining as far as Cubs, White Sox, Purdue versus Northwestern. Purdue's not. We jokingly say that Purdue is the second largest Big Ten school in Chicago. But anyway.
Yeah.
You got Illinois, then you got Purdue, then Northwestern.
Then Northwestern.
No, they jokingly say that it's like if you can't get into Illinois, then you go to Purdue. But it's like that's
then you go to Purdue.
That's kind of hurtful. But hey, Illinois is a good school too. Northwestern is also a very good school. I mean, all the Big Ten schools are good schools. But
yeah, they're great. Love the Big Ten schools.
And this is going to be this is airing Wednesday, so the game will already be over. But tonight we're going to be in Ohio State and see how they do. But jumping right into it, started a podcast. Why did you start your podcast?
I would talk a lot of sports with some friends of mine, and then one day, I had different sports shows through different mediums. But then in 2013, a friend of mine dared me to start my own sports show. And then the brain started turning, and I'm going, how the hell am I gonna do this? And I had a mixer, I had a laptop, and I had some wires. And October 2013 was the debut of Snowman in the Morning. And I said, what the hell? Let's try it. It's gone from an hour, and now it's 2 hours, and I've had some great people over the years help me to get it all together. But yeah, it's basically come off of a dare. Someone dared me to do it, and I put myself out there.
It's I think that's the first time anyone said a dare is the reason why they started their show. I mean, it's I love talking sports with my friends, but never dared. So that's definitely a unique answer for us. So you get you're the first one to answer that one. So you heard your show.
Someone dared me, and I answered them.
You showed them. So you do your show 4 days a week or multiple hours. How I find it hard enough to record this, which is about 10 to 15 minutes of my week, plus the editing time. How do you discipline yourself to do that much broadcasting, especially by yourself?
My wife. My wife is my calendar, and she says, put your show in your calendar, and you have to do it every day. Put down your guests, write them down, and then put them in the calendar. So if anybody has got me organized aside of my executive producer, Desmond Johnson, my wife Jody.
Good answer. 2 for 2 on answers today. So as far as a new listener tuning in for the first time, what do you expect them to hear from your show? What makes it different from other shows out there?
The truth. I say it like I mean it, and I mean it the way I say it. I'll give an example. Michael Jordan's the greatest player to ever play basketball. I've had people challenge me for the 7 years I've been active saying, well, what about LeBron? Oh yeah, what about LeBron? What the hell has he done to impress me? And I get so many messages and so many comments when I say something like that. Like, oh, you can't be that mean to LeBron. Wanna bet, shorty?
So the thing about Jordan is, if you go down to straight skill, I don't know. But to me, the debate is so much more than that. And right now, and that probably will never happen, the reason that Jordan will always be better in my mind is because Jordan he was so good, he became so big that he is his own brand. You know the Jumpman logo. The
Yep.
Jumpman logo is now
Yep.
on football jerseys. They're on soccer jerseys. Like you have soccer teams in Europe wearing a Michael Jordan, the Jumpman logo on a soccer jersey. You are never, I can't say never, but highly unlikely ever going to see a LeBron logo on a soccer team in Europe unless he's the owner and or sponsor.
You can say never because LeBron doesn't have a logo.
That too. I mean, he's a brand. Like he is so massive, he's a brand. I mean, yes, I respect LeBron and his accomplishments, but he is not the brand.
Yep.
But
he is not MJ. All right. Let's just say it the way it needs to be said. And this is what people can expect from my show. I say it the way it needs to be said. LeBron ain't MJ. He'll never be MJ. He'll never touch MJ. Next question.
And you know what? I'm on that same train. I completely agree with you. I mean, I guess I could say I'm fortunate enough that I'm old enough to remember him in his prime and see those 6 title runs, and we'll forget about the baseball career. That's that's not relevant to this discussion.
You know what? He wanted to try something. Then he went back. What did Bob Costa say to his true canvas?
Mm-hmm. The thing is, too, like, yeah, he wasn't a great baseball player, but how many players in the peak of their prime would just cut it and go and do another sport? I mean, he's such
and then come back and within a year rule their main sport again.
Yeah. I mean, he was just a fierce competitor. I mean, it's just the drive, the skill. It's just a full package. You're never going to see it again.
And it never gets old watching it either.
No, absolutely not. I just love it. I mean, I grew up in Indiana. I grew up down the street from Indianapolis. I watched some of those Pacers, Bulls. You have Reggie Miller in there. They were in some epic matchups, but it's like it was always the Bulls.
Yeah, they were. And I got love for the Pacers because of Reggie Miller, because of Vern Fleming, because of, oh man, here's a name, Chuck Person.
Chuck Person.
All right, Rick Smits, the Dunking Dutchman.
You got Dale Davis, Antonio Davis. I mean, it just
Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, Jalen Rose, Mark Jackson. Yeah, those Pacers. Okay.
And just it's amazing that the Pacers never were able to get over the hump. I mean, maybe they would have without Jordan around, and they almost did until they ran.
Great as those teams were, as great as those teams were, there was the undeniable will of Michael Jordan in a 7th game in an Eastern Conference Final in 1998. That was the Pacers' best chance to put the Jordan Bulls off of their pedestal, and they couldn't do it.
They didn't. And then then Jordan goes away, they get past them, and then they get railroaded by the Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
And they got run over by the Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Also coached by Phil Jackson. All right. See,
how do you like that? And okay.
No, I'm saying that the trademark of this show is we have our 4 questions, and usually around question 2, we go completely off topic, and that's what we love about doing this. It's called 10 Minutes With, but it never lasts 10 minutes. So moving on to question number 3, share a piece of advice you've learned since you've started podcasting that you'd share with a new podcaster.
Quit being afraid. In other words, to borrow from the Nike brand, just do it. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to start a podcast or start a radio show, and I've had the influences, and I just think, okay, how is this going to go wrong? Man, forget that. I mean, today, while getting pieces together for my show, using one of my notebooks, My wife has now banned me from bringing notebooks into the house because she has a secret stash of her own. I Today I had one of those kind of moments where I felt awful and I felt I'm not good enough to do it. But then I stepped away from my station. I went out and got some air. I came back and my wife says, "Don't you ever think that my life's not good without you in it." That's how bad it got. But after that, I came in here and I'm ready to get back to work.
Having a supportive wife definitely helps make it that much easier too.
It does. It does.
I mean, that it's inevitable doing anything on the internet. You're always going to have that person who is just a troll and they just want to, you suck. And you know what? Great. I'll say I suck too. And you know what? I don't know if it's true or not, but hey, I go the
You know what?
self-deprecating humor approach, and it works for me.
I tell people like that, okay, I suck, but do you have the nerve to do this?
No. 99 out of
No, they
100.
don't.
No.
No.
And it's if they realize how much time and effort and work gets put into this, they aren't going to go out of their way to harass you for that. They know they would respect you.
They take all the time. They take all the time in the world to find you, put your show down, put your efforts down. No, I wouldn't be doing that. Exactly. That's why you're not doing that, stupid.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get to our last question and start wrapping this up. Where can we find your show, your social media? And I understand you also have a Patreon.
I do have a Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/SIT morning. You can find my show each and every day on Facebook Live and Twitter Live. And if you just want to tune in and listen while you're on the go, you can find me via TuneIn, as I get a smile from my wife as she's walking by. You can find Snowman in the Morning via TuneIn, or you can go to tobaccoroadsportsradio.com as well as transformuradio.com, and that's where you can hear the show.
Awesome. And your social media?
Official SIT Morn for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Again, it's at Official SIT Morn for all of them.
I'm very jealous that you have the same handle for all of them.
It took me years to get that done.
Somebody around the same time as us created the Instagram handle and then abandoned their account about 3 months later. And I've been trying for almost 5 years to get it.
I totally understand that.
I said, this is the year. I said, if I have to go down the approach of trademarking it and filing a copyright violation with Instagram to get it, I will do that this year.
By the end of this year, I will have everything trademarked with Official SIT Morn on it. And I will have the show trademarked also, because it's good to protect your intellectual property.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, you never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap this up today. Brian, again, Snowman in the Morning. Thank you again for stopping by. Really enjoyed this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And Jordan is better than LeBron. I said it.
Period. And I'm repeating it. Jordan's better than LeBron and always will be. Let's get out of here.
Awesome. So check us out at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Join the network at stadiumscene.tv. And again, as I said earlier, at stadium_scene on Instagram. One day I'm going to get that handle and I will celebrate with a case of whiskey, a full case, and we're going to go and party. So until then, we'll see you next time.